Hello again. This video is going to show you how to use the basic functions of Google Classroom. And those functions can be found by looking in the lower right hand corner, and you see this little plus sign, and just mouse over it. You don't have to click. And you can see that there's essentially three functions: announcements, assignments, and questions. You could also reuse posts, and I'll get into that in a later video. An announcement simply looks like this. You can attach a link. You can attach a YouTube video by simply searching YouTube through this device search bar, or you can, if you already have the URL of the YouTube video, you can just paste the URL here. So for instance, if I paste this, which is the first tutorial video I just made, you see it already sees what I have and I can preview it there. I'm not going to add that right now though. And you can enter text here as well that your students will see. You could also attach a file, attach something directly from your Google Drive, or add a link. You see here this little drop-down menu. I can actually have this same announcement appear for multiple classes. I find this is useful if you have multiple classes of the same prep and you're on the same page. You can actually post the same thing to both classes simultaneously, so that takes a step out. You could also add a new feature of Google Classroom is if you hit the little down arrow here, you can schedule when the announcement will be posted in a future date and time, or you can just save it as a draft. So that's the first function. Announcements at this point do not show up on your class calendar. So when your students go to their Google Calendar, they should be able to see a bunch of assignments for their your classroom that'll show up on their calendar automatically when they join your class. Announcements don't show up on calendars. So if you want something that's going to show up on the calendar as well, you have to do an assignment. I'll do that now. Creating an assignment is the one you'll use mostly. And you click that, and you see that you can give a title to the assignment. Usually it should be a brief title, and give instructions as well if you want to for the assignment. And then you can pick a due date, and you can add time if you want to. If you don't want to pick a due date, you can just click that out and say no due date. If you do, you can just go back and choose the date again here, and there will be a date attached to it. A really good function here for this is that if you are attaching an assignment for your students to do and you're having them use a template, or you want them all to be submitting a Google Doc, you can actually choose from your Google Docs here, and I'll say add. And once you've attached that, you see this little drop-down menu. And this is a really great tool because you can make it so that students can all see the file, but they can't change it. You can make it so all the students can actually edit the file, which is rarely the case. Or best of all, you can click make a copy for each student. And what that does is anytime a student in your classroom clicks this link when you make the assignment, it'll make a copy of this file for them. So their copy will say bootcamp stuff, and there'll be a dash, and then their name will appear there. So they won't have to worry, and you won't have to worry about finding all the crazy names of assignments that kids give, or kids who more often than not don't give a name to a file. So that is a really great feature as well. And then when they open up this assignment, they can actually work on the Google Doc, and at the top right hand of their screen, there'll be a little button that says turn in, and it'll automatically turn it in for them to your classroom, which is a really excellent feature. The same attachment, linking, and YouTube options apply here as well, as does the assigning in the future option. So that's the second function. The third function, which I'll go into in another video, is asking a question. And that's a little bit more complicated depending on what you want to do with it. So we'll cover it in another video. Hope this is helpful.